Good morning, folks. Hold on just a second here. I want to make sure I have absolutely no noise going off during our opening of our show. Okay, good morning. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. And let me show you first, this is how you get in touch with our show. That's our phone number, email, and social media ways you can follow the show. It is June 6th, 2019. 75 years ago on this day, 1944, June 6, 1944, more than 160,000 Allied troops landed along a 50-mile stretch, heavily fortified French coastline to fight Nazi Germany on the beaches of Normandy. Normandy, France. General Dwight D. Eisenhower called the operation a crusade in which we will accept nothing less than full victory. More than 5,000 ships and 1,300 aircraft supported the D-Day invasion. And by day's end, the Allies gained a foothold in continental Europe. The cost in lives on D-Day was high. More than 9,000 Allied soldiers were killed or wounded, but their sacrifice allowed more than 100,000 soldiers to begin the slow, hard slog across Europe to defeat Adolf Hitler's troops. And that comes from the Army.mil, right from the Army's website. We're going to open up with General Eisenhower's speech to the troops right before the day before, I think the night before, if I remember right, but it was his speech to the troops before landing that he gave concerning the mission at hand. So let's go to Dwight Eisenhower for this opening speech.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force, you are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
You know, I have thought about playing at the 9 o'clock hour the entire speech from the President of the United States, and I just may. Yesterday, you know, every day I go home and I think of, or when I shut the show down, I start thinking immediately I'm preparing for 8 o'clock in the morning. And I did that all day yesterday as I went through my day. I went through thinking about preparation for 8 o'clock this morning. And I came up with some other things that we're still going to get into. But then I got up at, I turned the TV on at 4 a.m., CNN, and I realized the time difference was I would be able to watch this entire ceremony and this service to honor these men from World War II live. And just the greatest 5 a.m. in the morning anybody could ever ask for. So it lasted till about 6:30 our time, Eastern time. Number 12, the 9,000 plus crosses at Normandy, France. 9,000 plus crosses. Now, I was thinking this morning, I don't know about you, I was thinking this morning on, I often think of the places in the world I would like to visit, and I'm just average guy in North Georgia, and, I can't go travel the world. I just can't. Got a business to run and financially not able to just gallivant and travel the world. But, I'm like to sit down from time to time, think about some of the places I would like to visit. And as I looked this morning, I said to myself, wow, what I wouldn't give to get to walk through and look at those crosses firsthand. 75 years. I want to go through a couple pictures before we start. And I wanted to make sure my first opening had absolutely nothing to do with politics. I want to make sure first 10 or 15 minutes have nothing to do with politics. And I figure people will take this comment out of context. But give me number 8, and I forget this hero's name. It escapes me right now, that they were honoring here. And I've watched the Normandy D-Day services in the past. I've watched the D-Day services in the past. But particularly this morning, as I watched the President and the First Lady, as I watched these veterans stand. Now, the only humor I can use at this time is the speech took a little longer because when you're waiting for someone 93 to stand for an ovation, you got to add a little extra minute in the program. And these great men that we love so much, making an effort to stand in their 90s as the President acknowledges them. But I was thinking, and I look at that guy in the glasses, and I think about, these guys are all in their 90s, folks. They're in their 90s. If they're left, they're in their 90s. And that day, those were kids that absolutely loved their country. First and foremost, not politics, not a political party. Those were kids that just loved their country. Those are kids that would fight and die, and obviously for their country. Those were kids that felt if we didn't take care of this now on foreign soil, our children would not have the freedom that our founding fathers promised in a Constitution at the start of this country. So many things. But love overshadowed everything. These kids loved this country. And as I was watching this morning, I was thinking to myself what it was like for these 93-year-old men that absolutely love this country to be honored and appreciated 75 years later by a president a man that absolutely loves this country and appreciates them. I know you'll chop that all apart. But you know, ever since the President of the United States has taken the oath of office, the one thing that continues to grow for me is his love for this country. The people that don't understand the red hat make America great again. That's pretty simple. Make America great again is just the fact, could we just go back to loving our country? So I was thinking what it was like for these men that fought and died for the love of their country to be honored by a man who truly loves his country. Number 9, I got to get this guy's name, I forget it, he was awesome. Here is Ray, number 10, okay? The story, if you listen to the speech and you don't have tears in your eyes, the story of Ray and his brother, the day they took the beach and stormed the beach, and the promises they made to each other before storming the beach. The promises they made to each other that if one did not come home or survive, that the other would take care of the other's family. I'm telling you, man, if you got a dry eye, this was amazing, okay? Here's 11. I'm going to show you a couple pictures here. Marine One lands at America Cemetery right there. President Trump arrived on D-Day. And let's go back. And I just want to show you, I took like 90 shots this morning that I want to. Here is number 1, the President of the United States and the First Lady. Okay. President of the United States, he's so proud of this country, he's so moved this morning. Here's number 2, French President Macron gave the opening speech. Obviously, this is America's soil, the way it is. It is America's soil where the cemetery is right there, but it's actually in the country of France. So they are our host country, and that's the way the ceremony is done. And his great appreciation, Macron had a very good speech, President Macron of France, very good speech on his and his country and the world's appreciation for America that day. Here is number 3 with President Trump greeting some of the World War II veterans. And here is number 4. Here is the wreath that they set at the end of the speech in the ceremony. And here is number 5. I don't know this gentleman's name, but this is one of the veterans there. If you watch this speech and you look at these guys, if you have a dry eye, I don't know about you, man. Here's our President of the United States, number 6, delivering his speech. Those veterans behind him. Again, number 7. I got to get this guy's name, I forget. Now, yesterday there was a ceremony held with the Queen. This is number 13. This was yesterday. World leaders gathered, European leaders gathered. You see Angela Merkel, see the President of the United States, the Queen, Prince Charles, Theresa May, Macron. They gathered yesterday for a D-Day 75 year. I'm sorry if I've used the word celebration. Service, time of remembrance right there. And something before we take that picture down and we end this first segment concerning D-Day. Look at the Queen. Now, I have said over and over, the men. And obviously, at this time, it was the men that served in combat roles. But without the women in support roles, none of this would have been possible. You know, we don't all remember, but we heard as children, you know, in my generation, we heard as children Rosie the Riveter, right? So we know the women in this country that supported the war effort in the factories, producing planes and tanks and whatever support equipment and needs of our men as they went to war. But I want to focus on the Queen because you got to remember, the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth, every man left alive today that served in World War II is in their 90s. That's where we're at. They're in their 90s. And I'm going to ask you right now that if you go anywhere and you see somebody that served in World War II, stop. Don't go another step. Walk up to them and thank them. I don't care what rush you're in this country. I don't care how big of a hurry. I don't care how late you will be. And I often do that with all servicemen. If I'm out somewhere and I see one of our men and women that they're wearing their hat, Vietnam, Korea, regardless, I walk up and I say, did you serve? And yes, from this year. And I shake their hand. I say, thank you for your service. Several times a week I'll do that. But I want you to know these people are 90-some years old in World War II. And we don't have time to go into the complete war. It's something that's not spoke of in a lot of the discussion here is Stalin and Russia. And their winter, offensive against the Germans. But if you see a World War II veteran, you stop no matter where you're at, what you're doing, how big a hurry you're in, and your status, and you say, thank you, because I couldn't be in a hurry if it wasn't for you. I could not be late for something if it wasn't for you. I could not be doing any of this if it wasn't for you and your generation's sacrifice. Now, the reason I focus on the Queen, and I will close, do you realize Queen Elizabeth in her 90s was training to be a mechanic, working on equipment in World War II? Queen Elizabeth. And her first prime minister was Winston Churchill. And right there she sits. 75 years later, we get up this morning and when I say celebrate, we do. We celebrate the ones that were able to make it there, and we thank them for this beautiful service that we had today with our President of the United States. Once again, what it is like for me as American, and I'm not getting political. Number 8. See, I understand the red hat, and I understand Make America Great Again, and I get it. And I get the context. And I look at that right there, and I think about those young guys, 18 years old, leaving behind a wife, never meeting their children, 9,000, never becoming dads and not knowing it and never meeting their children. Just all the stories. And I think about these men that gave all for the love of their country, to be honored by a man that truly loves his country and appreciates them. I'm your host, BKP. It's D-Day, 75 years later. God bless America. And God save the Queen, right? You got to throw that in. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. 69 degrees here in LJ, Georgia, 8:28 in the morning. Josh Senda put up our phone number there so people can see our number, our email address, and how you can contact the show and follow us on social media. Now, that being said, it's 6/6/2019. And it's 6/6/2019, D-Day remembrance here. And I just watched the president, the entire ceremony, live this morning, about 5:30 this morning. I got up and watched it live. Wanted to hear the speech. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into it. My first 20 minutes, I said I was not going to be political, and people are going to claim I was still political because I said I understood the red hat, which I really don't care what people think where that's concerned. But let's get political now. So I got up this morning and I'm watching all the networks, right? I'm watching the networks and, and I'm looking at, all right, they're coming in. So let's just go with number 23. Whenever you get it, put 23 up. 21, 23, 20. 20, 21, or 23. I'd like 23 first if you got it. All right. So the ceremony is getting ready to start, and we're getting ready to have the service and celebrating the living veterans in this country and honoring the fallen heroes. And celebrating our heroes. And here's Don and Eric, right? Here's Don and Eric. They got a picture of Don and Eric. There's Steve Mnuchin in front of him. The mustache was there. So MSNBC, even CNN did this. They're doing pregame, okay? Oh, yeah, they're pregame. And they're hoping it's not a day where the president can back. They're hoping it's a day where the president can back off Mexico and tariffs and back off, some of the other things that are going on in the world and in our country. They're basically pre-gaming this, hoping that the buffoon that they feel is their president of the United States, they feel Donald J. Trump just a total buffoon, just illiterate, stupid. His reading list includes the back of cereal boxes like Cheerios and Trix and Frankenberry, and that's the extent of his reading list. I'm not joking. I mean, these people they're putting together panels to look at his mental health, we know he doesn't read. They'll say that all the time. We know he doesn't read. So they feel that we have the biggest buffoon ever in history as President of the United States. So they're pre-gaming that. Now, President and the First Lady go over to the UK this week. Give me 13. Here's a group of people, whether they like Donald Trump or not, they don't think he's a buffoon. Here's a group of people that realize they've been caught. Trudeau from Canada. Trudeau. Theresa May is resigning in a couple days. Macron has to get home so he could spend the weekend in hiding from the yellow vests. Angela Merkel absolutely hates the Donald. Donald Trump loves his country so much he's actually inspired people around the world to love theirs. I swear to God. And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if, you know, first of all, you know, I believe in God, not a God. God. Period. Not Allah, not Buddha, not some fat-bellied boy, whatever his name is, Hubba Bubba, whatever. God. Period. Okay? And wherever God determined you were going to be born into this world, I mean, you know, hey, wherever you're at, that's where you should love, and that's where you should do everything you can to make that country the greatest country on earth. Fine, I get it. But see, here's what's happened, and here's what Donald Trump did, is he's inspired you and I. He has built on our love for our country. He has said America first so many times. There's actually people in Germany that he has talked about immigration. He has talked about a country with no borders is no country at all. And they hate it because guess what? The man that loves his country has inspired people around the world to love their own. They're waking up and saying the EU, open borders, look at what has happened to our country. For how long has our despicable media tried to make it look like that Donald Trump was anti-ally? No, he's American first. He persevered. He went through, just think, if we had an American president that attempted what Donald Trump has attempted and gave up, has attempted what Donald Trump attempted and was told on a daily basis he couldn't do it, and he was terrible, and our country was terrible because we didn't kiss Canada's ass, kiss Merkel's ass, kiss Macron's ass. Go around the world ass kissing, a.k.a. bowing down, apologizing. What if it wasn't Donald Trump to persevere? The Secretary General of NATO, what's his name? Sergei? Is it Sergei? I don't know. But the Secretary General of NATO has come to America, addressed Congress. He's come to America. He's been on the talk shows, the news shows. And he said President Trump has never given him the impression that he wanted to end NATO. President Trump has never given him the impression that he did not support the Allies. President Trump has never implied that to him whatsoever. If you watch video of the UN Secretary General and the President, oh man, he just follows Donald along like it's the greatest thing in the world. The media can't stand it. The Secretary General of NATO has come and reported multiple times that military spending of these other EU countries and these other NATO countries is up. That Trump said, hey, you're supposed to be spending 2% of your military on NATO. It's time to pay the bill. He called him out. You know, here's the thing. Here's what really jerked these people's chain. You remember back in the day when we wrote checks? Okay, I mean, seriously. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know who writes checks anymore, but we wrote checks, right? You remember, you know, at the Chinese restaurant or whatever, where, you know, the guy had all the checks taped up to the wall that were bad? And if you didn't want your check, when you were checking out, if you didn't want to see your name up there in a bad check, you didn't write one. Or you was going to put it up there. Hey, if you know this guy, tell him his check's hanging up there. And then you call the guy and you say, hey, I hear my check's on the wall of your restaurant. Yeah, it's bad. Well, I want to take it down. Pay it, buddy, and I'll take it down. That's all Donald Trump did in simple terms, is take a notepad and put up there where all their checks were bad. And they didn't like it. They got highlighted at the local restaurant. Everybody in the world was able to see, oh, I can see your country is not paying its NATO bill. I can see that. How can you see that? Because Donald's tweeted it out 92 times in 2 weeks. They don't know what to do, folks. They don't know what to do. Do you know why the man is seated next to the Queen? Huh? How come how come Macron's not next to the Queen? How come Trudeau up there from Canada, Trudeau, Justin, is not seated next to the Queen? How come Angela's not seated? Donald J. Trump. The UK media wrote a couple things. Our media trashed our president so bad, went on and on how much this Queen hates Donald J. Trump. Nowhere near true. Nowhere near true. The Queen does not hate the Donald. The Queen looks at the Donald and says, you know what? The last time I seen a setup like that, I know I'm 93, but the last time, Donald, I saw a set like that, they were on Winston Churchill. I got to give it to you, Donald. I know you don't like what I said. I don't care. Because our media has done every single thing to trash this man and his wife, our First Lady. But guess what? They can't on this trip. They can't. They're spitting their heads off. The only thing they know to do is hold a meeting yesterday. They can't wait to get him home because Nancy wants to put him in prison. The Speaker of the House of the United States of America. One more time for you people out there in the far back row that couldn't hear. The Speaker of the House of Representatives of the United States of America, while our president's on foreign soil, and while our president is representing in the best way we could possibly ask for, through strength, with our allies, the Speaker of the House says she wants to put him in prison. Well, Nancy, your ass couldn't wait for him to at least get home to tell him? Well, you going to meet him at the airport? Comes off Air Force One. Sorry, sir. We have a warrant for your arrest. What the hell's wrong with you damn people? What the hell is wrong with you damn? Everybody in America, you should go out today and anybody you see it's a Democrat, and you should look at them and say, the Speaker of the House of the United States, don't say Democrat. You don't even say Democrat or Republican. You say the Speaker of the House of the United States of America, while the President of the United States of America is meeting and honoring our heroes in Europe, said she wants to put him in prison. That's just bad. That's all they got. Now, let me tell you what's getting ready to happen, okay? So as I'm listening to the play-by-play, just give me give me this one right here. So they lay the reef, number 4, okay? Now, Donald Trump said, God bless our allies. Donald Trump said, God bless our allies. Donald Trump said, God bless America. They are doing right now, wait for it, ready? They're so disgusting. The media right this minute, they're talking about how they brought Donald Trump around. The only way to call this trip successful, okay, because they don't know what to do with it, all right? Because the American people, I don't want to say they realized, but if you and I out here, first of all, let me tell you who I don't want to know. I don't want to know you. I know you say sometimes I say ugly stuff. I don't want to know you if you did not understand the context that Donald Trump used the word nasty, in what context it was used. I don't want to know you because you're too far gone. You're Looney Tunes, okay? You're totally out of there. You're sanitarium headed for it. That's your next stop. You're crazy as hell. That's right. I don't care. I don't care. If you did not understand the tense and the way that Donald Trump used nasty when it comes to Princess Markle or whatever her name is, you are bonkers, Looney Tunes. There's no coming back, baby. Cut that fish. Cut bait and run. Whatever they say. And see, the media tried to sell you and me on this terrible display, despicable display of disastrous etiquette. Donald Trump had blown all etiquette. While we were just thinking he'd go to Europe and he would drink tea, he wouldn't do this when he drank tea, and he'd walk in front of the Queen, and he would, he would show the Queen, hey, you want to send out a quick tweet? We just thought this Beverly Boom Manhattan idiot, okay? Oliver. We thought Oliver from Manhattan that moved out to Green Acres because he wanted to farm would just blow. I mean, the days leading up, the plane landed. The Air Force One, the door was open. I was watching live. We're waiting for our president, right? And on the bottom of the screen, I'll pull him up. Nasty. President said nasty. I tell you what, America, Nancy Pelosi's in a mess. The Democrats are in a mess. Heads are spinning off. They don't know what to do. The president see, these are the allies that Donald Trump turned his back on. You see, we did 2.5 years. Donald Trump over there in Israel with Netanyahu. Donald Trump over there in Saudi Arabia. Not asking why Khashoggi, went through the meat market and got chopped up. Sorry, that's what they say happened. Donald Trump, Saudi Arabia. Donald Trump meeting with that dictator, Kim Jong-un. Donald Trump in Japan. Donald Trump he'll talk to Vladimir, but not our allies. He has drove a wedge through our allies. He has hurt our standing with our allies. Another lie. Another lie. On a mountain of lies they have told you in 2 years about what's going on. Lies, Russian collusion, lies of who actually the criminals are. Not even bringing up Hillary, Strzok, Steele, the dossier, lies about the FISA court. Robert Mueller, lies. They tried to sell you lies. They're selling you lies about the tariffs. They don't know jack about how an economy works. They know nothing. These senators, for the most part, and representatives have never had a damn job in their life. They do not know anything about business. Lies. You know, the only thing they know about business is the people that contribute to them so they can get laws written that will benefit their business. These dumbasses. Lies. All lies. Here is one of the biggest ones you've been told for over 2 years. Remember the caravans before the election? Donald Trump was lying. Now it's a crisis. All lies from this media. Non-stop. And our allies. Remember over 2 years. Oh my God. Minka Brzezinski. Oh, my God. He's not kissing the man boy's ass, Macron. Macron, right? Oh, we're so sorry, Macron. Oh, Angela, we're so sorry. Donald said that. Oh, we're so sorry. Let me tell you something. When they tried to sell the American people in the last week that Donald Trump used nasty, and it didn't play, and it got out there, it became a joke to the average American people. You know it and I know it. And now they got to sell them same people that it's time to impeach. Now they got to sell the same people that you got to put this guy in prison after this most successful foreign trip with who else? Our allies, our strongest allies. Because the man that loved his country inspired others to love their country. They don't know what to do. Now, the media this morning, and I'm going to take a break, the media this morning has started trying to sell this successful European trip that they brought Donald around. Okay? Now, I don't know who all's in the group, so let's just do this. Let's go to number 13. The media is trying to sell the narrative today that they can't say it's not a successful trip. Let's go with that. They cannot say in any way whatsoever that this entire trip by the President and First Lady is an amazing success. So yesterday he met with the Prime Minister of Ireland, right? Well, they couldn't say that. They had to say, oh, by the way, he's over there to check on his golf course. The attacks on and on didn't work. So now he's coming home. They're in the newsroom saying, we've got to accept the success of this trip with our allies. What do? I'll tell you what we'll do. He learned from us. We taught him. We brought him around. They're going to say that group right there, that group brought Donald Trump around. Sorry. Donald Trump brought the people of those countries around. Donald Trump is liked by most people in Europe. The lies they tell you, the lies. In the European Union, they just don't want to lose their gravy train and their free lunch. Brexit is getting ready to be over. We are going to be the allies to the Queen there and the UK that we promised. And we're going to cut a trade deal to where to hell with the EU. And you know what? UK, you're going to be all right because Donald's a good guy, good president, loves his country, and he's okay that you love yours. Oh, by the way, we're not a piggy bank anymore. That burns the media up. We are not the world's piggy bank. Right? There's a good picture to explain it. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to be right back.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ella, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You know, as you well know, I got a little worked up, right? Let me see, wait a minute. Look. Hey, wait a minute. Now, I want to ask you a question here, all right? And Josh, I put a lot on you jumping around. Yesterday, in 6'5's pictures, actually, I don't think I have it in 6'5. I'm sorry. In 6'4's pictures, Monday, I have that Biden poll. Now, is that something you can pull up? Yeah, can you pull that? All right, find that, throw it on the screen, okay? Now, folks, here's the thing, all right? Now, I just did a full segment, the first 18 minutes of this show. I'm your host, BKP, what, by the way. Good morning from the office. We're in LJ, Georgia. It's 8:58. There we go. 69 degrees, a little rainy, a little sunny. You never know. Bada boom, bada bing. And here's all the ways you can get in touch with us. There they are. All right, there you go. So moving right along. All right, so I did an 18-minute segment. So much for me saying pop that up when you got it, because I wasn't even ready. Way to go. So I did an 18-minute segment when I opened up, no politics, just honoring the men, the women, World War II vets. And then I did an 18-minute segment where I tell you the media are liars. Liars. Now let me tell you, I told a guy yesterday this, and he laughed, okay? Now, I come from a generation that nowadays my parents are child abusers. I'm going to just put it out here. So listen, we would either, you know, if you're growing up and you never went out and had to cut your own switch, because you knew if you went out and cut your own switch, what's this got to do with anything I'm going to tell you? You knew if you went out and cut your own switch, and that was like picking your weapon that's going to be used on you. Okay? Whelps. If you ain't never had some good whelps left on your legs, live to talk about it. So you're going out and you got to pick your own switch. So one, you got to pick something that your mom or dad could beat the hell out of you with. And if you don't get the switch that will do the job, then they say, really? And they go and get the switch. And when they go, they're already upset that you didn't bring back a weapon strong enough to whip your ass with. So now they're upset because they got to go get the switch. So odds are, you know, as a young 8-year-old boy, you just don't think these things out too well. So here I'm going somewhere with this. So then you have the belt, you know, and you hide that one belt. Your dad can't, you do not want to make it to where your dad can get his hands on the whooping belt that quick. Where is my belt? Oh, hell. No, hide that whooping belt. Hide it. Get it out of the way. You don't want your dad to find the whooping belt. So you go and you hide the one that is the most dangerous whooping belt in the closet. I mean, when you opened your parents' closet when you were kids, that was a dangerous place. Ooh, there's a whole string of whooping belts down through there. Anyhow. So, that being said, I was talking with a guy yesterday, and I said, you know, my dad never said, why did you embellish? Why did you embellish that story? When I ask you who broke that lamp, why did you embellish? Why did you mishandle the truth? Why did he? No, my dad never whooped my ass for embellishing, but he whooped my ass for straight up lying. Period. So a lie is a lie, folks. Period. So here's where I'm getting to. I just broke down for 18 minutes. The media has done nothing. There has been zero reporting. Why, that story was true, or that story was true, or the facts in that story were accurate. Not saying that. The total scope. There's not been one thing from Russia collusion. There's not been one thing from the tax cuts that the president put in place. There's not one thing about Obamacare. There's not one thing about health care pre-existing conditions. There's not one thing about the border. There's not one thing about our president's trips traveling abroad. There's not one thing about his meeting with the leader of North Korea. There's not one thing in the major scope of anything this president has done that the media has not lied to you. Not one. Lied to you. Now, let's expose the lies they keep telling. So the DNC has decided that Biden is front runner. You already have lower level candidates that are concerned that the DNC is going to send Biden all of the fundraising, email, press, list, all of the list, the email list, the groups, anything they need. The lower ones know it. Biden's a lock. They waited for Biden. Now let me ask you a question. Who could withstand this? Who could withstand this? They do nothing but lie. Period. Biden has lost twice as president. He pulled out for plagiarism running. He was a failed 8-year vice president. Okay? He is corrupt, ties to China, the Ukraine, his kids. He is so corrupt. He likes, my opinion, to touch children way too much. He likes to touch everybody he can get his little greasy, grimy paws on. Creepy ass 76-year-old pasty old white paws on. Nobody could survive what Biden's surviving. Only if the corruption of the DNC still exists that Hillary is in charge of. Oh, Hillary's out there still flapping her gums, flapping them left and right all over the place. That's right, flapping them gums. Right? See, the DNC was supposed, you're tired of hearing it, but they were supposed to fix everything. No more super delegates. Why they watch Bernie get screwed on the questions. Why Russia actually hacked them and told the truth to their own voters, not us, their own voters, of how corrupt Hillary is, how corrupt Podesta, how corrupt Brazil, Deborah Wasserman Schultz, all of them, how corrupt Tim Kaine. I tell you what, Tim Kaine's involved in some things. You need to dig a little deeper on that beady-eyed little fella. Tim Kaine. But it wasn't going to happen again. So they have to prop up Joe Biden. Joe Biden has survived the Anita Hill, pubic hair, Anita Hill, how he survived that. He has survived 3 weeks of boys, girls, men, women, whatever, lizards, of him petting on them a little too much, touching, a little groping, a little smooching on the ear, a little nibble on the neck. He's a creep. He survived that. He's surviving everything they throw at him. He is surviving the Ukraine issue with his son. He is surviving his China. Everything they throw at Joe, he's surviving it. Now, Joe ran into a little bartending buzzsaw, the bartending buzzsaw, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And she said, we're not going to let the people from the past tell us that we're not going to die in the future. Because when I was 12 in 1989, and whiskey was not yet legal, but it really was. What the hell did she just say? So Joe gets hit with the buzzsaw on the Green New Deal. So what's Joe do? Joe calls her, hey, look, we got to go to the website, go to climate change, and just start pasting some crap in there. Cut, paste, boom, boom, boom. And get this Ocasio. No wonder Joe Crowley don't like her. Oh, because he's lost. So anyhow, get this girl off my ass, man. I'm tired of her, right? Come on, we can do something with this kid, can't we? Sir, Pelosi can't do a damn thing with her. I don't know what we're going to do. Well, let's paste. So he pastes some stuff in there, right? Come to find out, he didn't credit it because he cut it from things that didn't belong to him. And so he went back and he put the right footnotes in and gave the correct crediting of the passage that he's used and stole from somewhere else. Only if he wouldn't have got caught, but he did. He's surviving that, plagiarism. Then some education stuff. I mean, he's just gone and cut and paste all over his... He's surviving that. Now, here's what happened. And I'm going to get to the lie. Here is the lie. So this poll comes out, and we put it up here Monday, and Joe Biden is at 32%, but he's down 7. And Bernie's at 18. He's up 3 in this poll. And Carmel, I call her Carmel because if you mix this and this, you get, if you look at a piece of caramel, but Carmel Harris, okay, which she is not African American, playing that role on she's up 3. Warren is down 1. Mayor Pete is down 2. Francis is down 1. How the hell could Francis be down 1? He wasn't at 5. How could he be? He was only at 1. And then the only black guy in the race, which, I'm just saying. The only gay black guy in the race. I just saying. My thought. Cory Booker, he's up 1%. So immediately Monday, today is Thursday. Immediately, what did they do? Washington Post 16 hours ago. Washington Post 16 hours ago. The election-defining Biden can win narrative just got a big boost. I find that interesting. Are we looking at the media to prop up Joe? Are we looking at the media to bring him back because of the plagiarism issue, the groping issue? So what could you do right now to help Joe? Show he can win. You see, I tell you what, Democrats, I'll tell you what, if you let and I'm not trying to help you, but it's just the truth. Democrats, if you let what Hillary Clinton did to you with Bernie Sanders last time happen again, you are in a mess. Because you got to realize, Democrats, every single day the media comes out and you know in your heart they don't like Republicans. And they come out to tell you what a mess the Republican Party is in. And you know in your heart the Republican Party is nowhere near in the mess the Democrats are in right now. Because, see, we broke that stranglehold. That's why they hate Trump. It's because Trump broke the stranglehold. And if Trump is successful, well, what if somebody else tried it? We got to end this now. That's why we have our own Republicans against us. But you haven't broke the stranglehold. You're being lied to. And what the media is trying to do to you out there is manipulate you because you watch CNN. I got a message the other day. I said, nobody's covering this. Well, I watched CNN, and they covered it all day long. Still, sorry. That means nobody's covering it. Right? Period. Woo! So you watch CNN, you watch MSNBC, you got no idea what's going on, and they're going to help you. CBS, all of them, realize that Joe could win. And when Democrats are asked, do they want this candidate or do they want someone that can beat Donald Trump? They say they'll defer to the candidate that can beat Donald Trump. So if they do that, and that's what the polling says that they lie about, then let's do some polling that says Joe has a chance. June 5th, 3:42 p.m. The rockiest shoreline of political punditry is the prediction that Texas is about to vote Democrat. So many ships have crashed and sunk when venturing too close to that territory. tempted by the state's changing demographics and statewide races that aren't quite the deep red romps they were expecting. Take Donald Trump's unpopularity in 2016. Are you sure it was Donald Trump's unpopularity or the lies in the media? Or trying to prop up? We are seeing Francis now. The United States of America, folks, media, we are seeing Francis O'Rourke now. And who told you as soon as he ran nationally, we would see who he is and realize there was never anything there, even in Texas? Take Donald Trump's unpopularity in 2016, particularly among Hispanics, and overlay some strong polls for Hillary Clinton, and whammo, Clinton can win Texas is born. 2 years later, take a young Democrat, pit him against one of the least popular senators in Washington. Beto O'Rourke is headed to the Capitol. That just like that, you're explaining to Davy Jones where the numbers went wrong. We know where it went wrong. Is 2020 the year Democrats could win Texas? In February, we looked at a Gallup poll, blah, blah, blah.